Does this sound familiar? You've finally gotten your little one to sleep and you've crept out of that room, made yourself that much needed coffee, and finally sat down to have that very rare moment to yourself. But what feels like only 3 seconds later, your little one shatters that dream by screaming out and letting you know that they are ready to play. Now, if this sounds familiar, there are actually lots of different reasons why your little one might be having short naps, but the good news is there's some things that you can do to make them longer. Before we cover what those reasons are, make sure you click on that free PDF document in the description box below to get the free developmental checklist for your baby's first year of life. This will give you invaluable peace of mind as you'll know when to be expecting skills and when to be concerned. One reason your baby might be having short naps is actually due to their age. So having short naps or catnapping is completely normal between the age of 3.5, 4 months of age all the way up to 5.5, 6 months. So if your baby is in this age range, you can make sure that environment is set up appropriately for nap times, but you might just need to kind of ride that wave until your baby is developmentally ready to start linking sleep cycles and extend their day naps. The other reason might be that your baby's not tired enough. Now, I know this sounds a little bit weird, but babies, while they're awake, build up their sleep pressure, and naps are predominantly guided by sleep pressure. Now, they might be tired enough to fall asleep, but they're not tired enough to go into another sleep cycle. So they might just have one sleep cycle, which is around that 30, 45 minute mark, and then they are going to wake up because that sleep pressure has kind of dissipated while they were sleeping and they are no longer tired. So what you want to do in this situation is keep an eye on and be aware of age appropriate wake times, because you need to keep your baby awake long enough so that they build up enough sleep pressure to be tired enough to link 2 sleep cycles together so they extend their sleep. Now, on the flip side, your little one might be having short naps because they are overtired. Now, when a baby is overtired, their body releases stimulating hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and these hormones make it really difficult for a baby to fall asleep and stay asleep because they're basically in that flight or fight mode. Now, what you want to do to avoid having an overtired baby is be aware of age-appropriate wake periods. So know what they are and look out for your baby's tired signs and cues around that period of time. And to help your little one fall asleep, do think about the environment that they're going to sleep in, because a really stimulating environment is going to be hard for your little one to switch off from and go to sleep. And if they find it difficult to go to sleep, then they're going to become overtired. So this leads me on to my next point, which is the environment that your little one is sleeping in can have a significant impact on the length of time that they will stay asleep. So it can actually lead to shorter naps. Now, you would have noticed that when your baby was a newborn, they could sleep absolutely anywhere. It didn't matter what was happening around them, they would just fall asleep. But from about 3 months of age to 5 months of age, babies generally go through a change. So their sleep pattern matures and they will now wake between sleep cycles. So they'll sleep for that 30, 45 minutes, and then they will wake or partially wake. And then if there's nothing stimulating in the environment, then they will go back to sleep. But if the environment is interesting, then they are going to wake up fully. So if there is things to look at in the room, or if it's really noisy, or if the temperature is too hot or too cold, it's going to lead to your baby waking up fully. So what you want to do is ensure that when your baby is napping, they are napping in a room that is conducive to sleep. So it encourages them to sleep. So that is ensuring that the room is dark, so dark enough that you can't read a book, that it is cool, and that it is quiet. Now, using a white noise machine might help you keep that room quiet when you're in a busy household. Hunger is also another reason that babies will have a shorter nap. So for example, if your little one feeds every 3 hours and they were fed 2.5 hours ago when they first woke up, and now it's time for them to have a nap, then of course they're only going to sleep for that 30 minutes because they're going to be hungry at this point and want a feed. So you just might want to think about the timing of your feeds to ensure that when your baby does go to sleep, they're going to be able to do 2 sleep cycles before that hunger kicks in and they need that feed. Babies who need help from an adult to fall asleep are also more likely to have short naps. And that is because at that 4 or 5 month old mark, their sleep pattern matures and they wake between sleep cycles. Now, if your little one is needing your help to fall asleep, so you're using a dummy, you're shushing them, you're rocking them, or you're patting them, then when they wake fully between sleep cycles, then they are going to call out to say, hey, can you come back in here and help me get back to sleep? Once your little one learns how to fall asleep by themselves, which I know can be extremely difficult and time consuming for parents, then they are going to be able or more likely to link sleep cycles, because they will go to sleep independently and then they will wake up between a sleep cycle and then they'll be able to go back to sleep by themselves, and that will lengthen their overall day naps. Now, if you want advice on how to help your little one through that, then you can check out this video here. Make sure you click on that free PDF document in the description box below, and I will see you next week where I'll share more parenting tips and tricks.